But I do think, it's been a big problem in the industry alone on just trusting whether or not content was generated by AI, right?
I feel like most of LinkedIn content nowadays is just AI generated. It's hilarious when I look at it because a lot of it's AI generated. You can tell what is and what isn't usually. But then also comments
Yeah.
AI generated. I even ran into a situation where like just a DM was AI generated, and I was literally just talking to an AI, and I could tell because this thing was responding like paragraphs within like half a second. I was like, okay, like
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
So now you have this whole platform that's just AI's posting, AI's commenting, AI's DMing, and
Yeah.
we're not even there. So is it now just their social media? So the social media for AI. This is Super SaaS Bros with Cory and Jayde. Let's jump in.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Super SaaS Bros. We are your hosts, Cory and Jayde, and today we got a fun one for you guys. No special guests, but some interesting stuff is going on in China. I'm not sure if you heard, Cory, but they are mandating labels on all AI generated content, whether that's audio, video, like copy, things like that. They need to start either putting a watermark on it or a label on it that basically states whether or not this content was generated by AI. What are your thoughts?
Oh shit. So interesting because we've talked about this in the past about like whether or not
We
like
have.
AI generated stuff would need to be tagged or whatever it might be, and so now they're mandating it. You know what, man? I'm not. My initial gut feeling is I'm not against it. Um, I think because on
Yeah.
one side, like we've talked so much about, especially video and audio being created by AI, that maybe
Yeah.
is like cloning other people, and they don't have like maybe the right to do that, or they're trying to pretend to be someone else, and like more in like negative circumstances, right? But so I don't know. I feel like I'm okay with that. But I feel like obviously some people are going to be kind of pissed about it because they're like, well, I don't want, if people see something's generated by AI and like a company or a creator is just generating so many things using AI, is it going to out them as like, you're not even authentic anymore, right? Which maybe is okay.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, so I'm okay. I think I'm okay with it. My first initial gut. How about you?
Yeah. I also think I'm okay with it. I don't think I'm against it. I think it allows for even more innovation because I think we start to go into this new realm of what I'll call like trust and transparency tech, right? Or
Mm,
like, I don't know, maybe trust as a service or trust and transparency tech as a service. Basically, that if we're able to build some sort of small tool, call it like Trust Buddy, and it understands whether the content was it came from Canva or came from, I don't know, any other like tool that just generates AI content.
yeah.
It that tool needs to now be responsible for, in its metadata, labeling it as whether or not it was generated so that any downstream tools that integrate into it is able to pick up on that. And I
Right.
think because of that, it allows for some cool tech that might come into play and show whether or not how authentic a piece of content is.
Yeah. And sorry, remind me. You said is it audio, video, like and text?
Anything that's AI generated.
Anything. Okay. Anything. So interesting. So like I feel for audio and video, like I feel like it makes sense. With text, there's metadata as well, but like I just think about, well, you can just copy and paste something, and how then can you tell you don't, right? So it's really anything that's not copy and pasted out of an AI interface,
Hmm.
and you just copy and paste it somewhere else instead of like you using integration. People might just opt for like a little bit of a manual process just so they don't get tagged as something being automated for video and for audio. Yeah, I feel like I'm like that's totally cool. But you're right. It is there's opportunity for some cool tech here. Yeah, like you said, Trust Buddy. I don't know. That sounds like a cool thing to be developed.
Well, imagine the ChatGPTs, the Claudes, the Geminis. Now, when they try and, I don't know, copy the text from one platform to another,
Yeah,
somehow this new platform knows that it was generated from ChatGPT, right?
yeah,
There's like something there that basically like creates the transparency on where it came from through any
yeah.
proxy. Like if they try and copy it into a Word doc and then a notepad and then this and then its final destination ends up being wherever it needs to be submitted, it retains that little marker on it such that
The
it's
whole
able
time.
to know that it was generated on AI. Yeah.
I kind of lean towards the way like Cluely operates, right?
Okay.
Because like so there's I feel like there's one way that this could go is that the actual I'll call them the AI labs themselves or any major AI chat interface or AI generating interface like OpenAI, like DeepSeek, like all of them. Like they'll just be mandated like anything that comes out like they're just going to do it themselves. They're just going to tag it like every generation is just tagged automatically because now by
Hmm.
law they have to in China. And but the other way is like almost like Cluely, right? Which Cluely is just like on your computer, and maybe like you said, it's just this interface that just it lives on your computer, no
Yeah.
matter where you're. If you're grabbing it from Gemini, if you're grabbing it from OpenAI or whatever it might be, no matter where you copy and paste, if you put it into a Google Doc or Word doc, it's just like it's always there, and the marker stays. So that's how I think some innovative tech could be built that way, because if it's just being tagged by the AI lab, like I feel like at the moment you take it out of that environment, then
Mm.
you're good essentially.
Yeah.
From a text perspective, for video like and like images
In
and
audio?
audio, I feel like
Yeah.
that's a lot harder, right?
It would be a lot
Because
harder.
the
Yeah.
metadata I feel like just travels with it, right? So
It does. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how they're going to be doing it. Um, I
wow,
think
I
it's
didn't
going
hear
to
that.
be,
That's crazy.
yeah, September 1st is when it was
Oh damn,
released. Yeah. So trust tech,
damn,
transparency tech. I also
damn.
think
Do you know what?
too, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you know what the penalty is if you don't do it?
Oh, I have no idea. I didn't look into
Okay,
that. Yeah, let's
go into your
take a
next thing.
look.
I'm gonna find out.
All right. Let's see. Let's
Penal-
see.
Penalty for not tagging AI in China. Let's see how this comes out. No, really fines. They'll just like they'll just suspend you. I don't know. There's nothing
Service
really.
suspension. Yeah. Non-compliance may result in penalties, including service suspension, and users must disclose AI-generated content on distributed platforms.
Oh, there might be fines. There's admin fines. I don't know. We'll see. We'll just see what happens. I'll be interested if it ever comes to North America.
Yeah, right. But I do think, it's been a big problem in the industry alone on just trusting whether or not content was generated by AI, right?
Yeah, man. Especially in like as you know, and a lot of people probably know as well too. Like I love the LinkedIn world,
Hmm.
um, and I feel like most of LinkedIn content nowadays is just AI generated. It's hilarious when I look at it because a lot of it's AI generated. You can tell what is and what isn't usually, or you can infer to a point where it's like it's probably you have a good probability that it's AI generated, but then also comments
Yeah.
AI generated. I even ran into a situation where like just a DM was AI generated, and I was like literally just talking to an AI, and I could tell because this thing was responding like paragraphs within like half a second. I was like, okay, like
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know.
exactly.
So now you have this whole platform that's just AI's posting, AI's commenting, AI's DMing, and
Yeah.
we're not even there. So is it now just their social media? So the social media for AI for them to
Well,
interact?
do you think yeah, do you think these social platforms are now like the value of them is now being diluted because of this?
100%. I feel it's being diluted. Um, there's a, but there is a pro to this. where, people are basically using human generated content as their differentiator.
Yeah.
They're putting the effort in. They're providing like their personal value into it. And one funny trend that I saw on LinkedIn, and I posted about it too, was
Hmm.
people intentionally making spelling and grammar mistakes
Oh, I've seen
so
that too.
that
Yeah.
people knew that it was a human
Yeah.
writing it. But it's hilarious because you try to avoid mistakes, but people are now intentionally doing it
Yeah.
um, to show that like they're human. I saw
Really.
like major creators doing it. I was like, that's hilarious because it
Yeah,
was just
dude.
one, and I was like, that's weird. And then because I was like, this person never makes like spelling mistakes in their content. And then I saw like four other creators do it. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
so they're doing. But the funny thing is, because I posted about this as well too, was that you can just tell, like GPT or Gemini or whatever. I'm like, just make a few like spelling and grammar mistakes, and then create the post. So I've
Oh my
tested it out a
God.
few
Yeah.
times. So
It's
I'm like, I don't know. It's so to answer your question, yes, it's diluting it a lot. There's a lot of just slog out there of like not useful content, but
Mhm.
um, I do I do find that I appreciate people that actually spend time to write their posts or create their videos. I think when you're using AI for it to like kind of operationally get your content out there, like to do some edits and stuff like that, cool. But I really do appreciate, like, I know certain content creators that I really, really appreciate, especially on LinkedIn, that like I know they're writing their content, and it's very valuable.
Yeah.
You'll still see just a lot of the AI generated content is just very fluffy. It's not that
Yeah.
valuable. You won't get much out of it. So, yeah, it's unfortunately diluted. I think
It
mostly
is.
just on written content right now, blogs, um, LinkedIn. Even I actually even looked at Twitter. I don't even know if that's a lot of AI generated content. It probably is
Probably
as
is.
well too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like video is still a pretty safe bet, like
Mm.
for content creation. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I was reading about it and I'm like, this could be another new micro SaaS idea that we can kind of just plug into 10, $20 a month. Just try and figure out whether or not something is AI generated, given that if this mandate exists and they have some sort of label on it that we can just grab, that would be a cool little micro SaaS idea.
that would be pretty cool. It's so funny hearing you talk about this because I remember when I was like talking about these like AI. I don't know, like tracker, like schools are using them. They're like they could tell that like something's AI generated. We're like how can
Yeah,
they tell, right?
yeah,
Unless they
yeah,
have context about how I normally write, and I wrote very very different.
yeah.
And now we're talking about potentially like
This
finding a way
happening.
to do that.
Finding a way to do it. Yeah. Yeah. The video, the audio, the images, it's exactly what you're saying. It will, if they're going to try and somehow, I'll call it regulate it, and mandate this stuff, it's a lot easier to do it on there. And then, yeah, the technology can just be built on top of it to detect. So that'd be pretty cool if we can predict that and then be ahead of the game. Yeah.
I wonder how this affects real time audio AI generation. So like we're working on a voice AI
Hmm.
project, right?
Hmm.
So in that case, right? Imagine we were in China, someone hops on a phone, it gets pumped to a voice agent. Does the voice agent be like, "Hey, my name's Tom, I'm AI generated, whatever," and it continues on with its thing? Does it need a vocal tag, right? So I'm interested in that because then I don't know how that will make some people feel, but that's just something I thought of, like real time
Yeah.
tag essentially or announcing of its AI generation.
Or announcing of it, exactly. Yeah, it's either the announcing of it or maybe they can just get away with the audio file itself if it ends
Is
up
tagged,
becoming an audio file. Yeah, it's tagged.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
man.
Dude, oh, speaking of real time, have you seen any of this like AI generated in real time like open source worlds? Have you seen this?
No, no.
Okay, dude. Uh I forget where I saw it, but I saved it.
Okay.
Oh god, where is it? I think it's called
Like a video game?
So the video game is the example, but their whole thing is okay. So it's called Descartes. I'm gonna send you a link.
What is it?
Uh,
DESCARTES?
so the actual thing is about dot Descartes DECART dot AI. So they have two models. One of them is a real-time AI video-to-video model, and another one is called Oasis, and it's a real-time generative AI open world model. So their example in Oasis is basically Minecraft, but everything you see is being generated real time, so that it actually doesn't exist until you see it. Then it exists. Otherwise, it does not exist. Um, which is it's really
Oh,
really
I
really
see.
cool. I wouldn't go into it right now because you might break the podcast if you try to, because it does take up um, quite a bit of memory. So,
I see.
but yeah, I would take a peek into that. But this stuff to me is really interesting because I started thinking about storage of
Does the
games
world
specifically. I'm like, yeah, do you even need it?
okay?
Like if it's being generated real time, like it's just being streamed essentially, right?
Oh, okay. So I thought you were gonna go another way. I thought you were gonna say, because I think about this all the time. Like, does the world exist behind me because I'm not looking at it? You ever like go down
Oh,
that path
geez.
of like your mind and yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
like
Well, I guess,
total like
and this,
philosophy? Because
yeah. No, go, go.
well, with Descartes, like they have I imagine, therefore I become, which is just Rene Descartes' I think, therefore I am type of thing. So it's
Yeah.
named after him, and his whole thing is like the reason I exist is because I I'm aware and therefore I am a thing objectively. So
Right.
it's kind of this where it's like if it's being created in real time where like I am seeing it or imagining it, I am becoming it, I am existing. But then what about the things that you don't see? So there's a movie about this. I can't remember what it's called.
Is there?
But you can only like reality only exists as you're looking at it.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways,
Crazy.
not to go down philosophy.
Philosophical
It's
rabbit
a hard
hole.
word.
Yeah,
I'm
but
mixing up
anyway,
my
yeah.
words.
Sorry.
I said I'm mixing up my words.
You're mixing up your words. It's all good. But yeah, this is so cool. So I don't really know actually how it operates. Like if like legit, like there's just like a certain area that's always being generated, and so it's like everything around you see, and it's like generated. But then as you move, like some portions behind you disappear. I don't
Yeah.
know. I got to look into that a bit more. But I saw that and I was like, this could be really interesting. Just in terms of like storage, like data storage,
Totally.
where
Yeah.
you
Optimizing
don't
it
need as
because it
much if
doesn't
it's
need to
just being
exist.
streamed.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that which could solve a shit ton of problems on our like power grids and like data infrastructure and all that sort of stuff. So that's why I'm like following stuff like that pretty closely. One because actually the I think the initial stuff is really cool, but like the implications of it could also be massive.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Dude, I wanted to ask you because we were
Yeah.
talking about content creation.
Yeah.
You've been on this path of creating content
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if you wanted to share about like how it's been going, how you've been enjoying it, any early
Oh,
learnings.
sure. Yeah. YouTube. YouTube's great. I really enjoy it actually. I've learned that um, you either are going to allocate a lot of time to planning or a lot of time to editing. They just are just like what's the word? Reciprocals of each other. So
Okay.
I have not been doing a great job at planning my content, which as a result, I have been editing a lot of my content. So for instance, my last YouTube video, it took me probably 14 hours of recording and editing to actually get it out. So that was like a weekend's worth of work, which was, I reflected on that and I'm like, I gotta just plan better. So, because as I'm creating and recording, I'm like, oh, this would be good. But I've also learned that I need to be telling more of a story. And I think with this last video that I did, like people, I've been creating like vloggy type of videos. People have been following me on like I've gone and I've traveled and they kind of see me coding and they kind of see me at the gym. And then the last one I I did was just the tools that I use, but I spoke about it in just like different environments, and they got to kind of follow along with me going to like making a coffee or going to the gym or going to my lounge that I do work out of sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I have a coach for this as well, and he's been awesome. And he has just been giving me a bunch of great feedback and criticism. So his whole
Cool.
thing is just make sure you're telling a story and trying to keep your users engaged. Because if I looked at my analytics and it was like 45% of people dropped off in the first 12 seconds, which was interesting. And he's like, well,
Interesting.
it's just B-roll that you have in the first 12 seconds. It's a little song, it's just B-roll. Probably got to start with more of a hook, get them engaged. This is what Mr. Beast does all the time. He does
Yeah.
not like do any of that. It's just like, watch me, and then he just like goes off and says, watch me live in $100 million house, and then watch me live in a dollar house, and then kind of see the journey of like how, and then you're like, holy smokes, there's a whole journey. You get to see like the stages of him living in every single house from a dollar to 100,000, a million, 10 million, 100 million. And you kind
Yeah.
of get curious on that like storyline because you want to see the differences in how, if you're interested in what it looks like to live in a $100 million house or $10 million house, you're super interested in that, and you're going to wait until the end because you want to see it, right? So he
Yep.
does a really good job of building a whole story. And so I'm like, okay, so I have to really do better at planning my content around that. And I don't think my problem has like initially when I started this program with him, he was like, you got to identify your niche. And I'm like, I just feel like software development and like documenting my journey on like running a software agency.
Yep.
um, I said, "What do you think about that? Just being a niche?" She's like, "Yeah, it's okay, but it kind of sounds like what you're trying to do as you're like building your personal brand is like because you're documenting, you are the product essentially." And I was like, "Okay." So he's like, "That's fine. It's hard to do. So you got to storytell a lot more so people are understanding of who you are, but more so too because of what you're doing. You also want to cater to that audience, so you really need to." Tailor your content to that as well, and do a great job at marrying the two. And I was like,
Gotcha.
yeah, makes sense. So
Cool.
it's been going well. Yeah, it's definitely learning. I'm saying like I'm gonna call it like my first 12 to 15 videos are like a wash, and that's kind of how I'm looking at it.
Yep.
And then they're all like, what did I do wrong? What didn't I do wrong? Looking at the analytics. Um, it was weird. Like my not my last video, my video before got like 20 views, but then this video got like 200 views, and I was like, that's a 10x jump. So like, what was different? Is it just the thumbnail? Is it like the SEO on the title? So yeah, trying to like learn about that too.
Yeah. That's and you could go down a rabbit hole of like the algorithm hell, right? Of like trying
Yeah,
to figure out what was the algorithm, what was it want. It's because I saw that on your it was your tool, your 5 tools video, right? That had like
yeah,
the couple hundred views.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, I think to me, off the bat, if I was like if I had to, it was like what captured me was the thumbnail.
Oh, was it?
Like, yeah,
Okay.
because it's so relevant right now.
Yeah.
So I think you maybe benefit from like the algorithm being like, oh yeah, like AI tools that's super in right now, and it shifted it, pushed it to people that would be interested in that. So I thought the thumbnail was like what would initially what captured me to be like, I want to click on this.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool that you said that because my coach said the opposite. He's like, your thumbnail is too busy. He's like,
Oh really?
you have this whole background, and your background is busy, and then you
Yeah.
have if you guys saw my logo, it's like I have or my thumbnail. But my background behind me was pretty busy, which is my bookcase, and then I have the 5 logos of the 5 AI tools that I use that make
Yeah.
like a semicircle, and then I'm in the middle. And he's like, what I would rather you do is kind of blur out the background a bit, show the tools better, maybe do like an outline or something.
Yep.
And then for yourself, I've always just kind of like screen grabbed part of my video as my thumbnail.
Yep.
And he's like, if you want to do that, that's fine, but like prepare for it and then like do like a surprise face or like a curious face or like something that just would get them intrigued as to what's going on as opposed to
Yeah.
just screen grabbing a part. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm really enjoying it. I'm loving it. So
That's so cool, man. And like I think you shared a bit in the first video that you made as to like why you're starting this, but why did you start like video
it's
content?
truly just to document everything. Like I feel like I have a lot of knowledge to share, and I think I've made a lot of mistakes, and I also would personally enjoy this type of content because I'm in this space. So I also watch people who run a software agency and what they do and their learning lessons and things like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, I just, one, worst case, I'm documenting and I get to look back on how my journey was or is. And two, just providing as much value as possible. I just need to be better at communicating the value, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. That's
Yeah.
cool, man. Yeah, building a personal brand is one of the most powerful assets that you, like anyone really, can build nowadays. One is just like it's very like it's good for I think it's good for you as a human. Like just being able to be okay with sharing who you are and being okay, like probably knowing that there's probably someone maybe judging out there, but who cares?
Yeah.
There's people that are gonna hate on it. Who cares? People that might not watch, and who cares that you just do it anyway.
Yeah.
So it's such a resilient thing to actually just start. So yeah, I love personal branding. I've been enjoying what you've been creating.
Thanks,
Um,
dude.
so it's been good. So we'll make sure we'll keep throwing your YouTube link as well in the description. So people go watch Jayde and his life and like how we're building Six Summits and things that he's doing because it's pretty awesome. So
Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Yeah. And then we also have our newsletter too, that is out,
yeah.
Summit Signals, which I just released the second week, which was this morning. So I need to do better at marketing that, I would say. Yeah, just kind of posting it on social media. I've got it on LinkedIn and Twitter, but I'm gonna post it on
Yep.
IG as well. And then yeah, you told me about putting a little subscribe thing on the newsletter. I couldn't figure that out, so I don't know. We're gonna have to jam out about that and figure out how to do that because I couldn't figure that out on how to do that. Um,
Cool. Okay. Yeah, we
yeah,
should definitely because yeah, we definitely want to get that on the website. But you guys, yeah, definitely all check out. We'll put a link to it in the
in
as
the
well
description.
in the description. I think Beehive, I believe, is what we're using.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, go read Summit Signals. Heck yeah, we got newsletters. We got founders doing content.
Hmm.
Gonna be so much stuff going your way. Value all over the board. So yeah, this will be good. We'll figure out how to get it on the website for sure. I was
Yeah,
wondering why you were asking me. You were like asking me before. You're like, "Yo, can you give me access to the website and all this stuff?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, dude. Whatever."
yeah,
So that's what you were trying.
yeah. I couldn't figure it out though, so we'll get it figured out.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
Well, that's awesome, man. I'm gonna continue enjoying watching the journey, and we'll keep creating those newsletters. We're also creating a lot of content on Six Summits page on LinkedIn, so go follow us on LinkedIn as well too.
yeah. You've been crushing.
Um, and I'll do my own shameless plug. Go follow me on LinkedIn as well too, because I post pretty much a lot of things about what we're working on, things I'm going on in my life too.
Yes, sir.
Um, but it's always all generally related to something Six Summit. So yeah, give us all a follow, and we'll keep providing the content there. But I'm happy you've gotten to the game, man. You're honestly, I think you're really good off the bat. I don't care what your coach says. Like, if to me, you're
Oh,
really good.
thanks, man.
I know
I
he's there to
appreciate.
help you improve, but like, damn,
Yeah,
I was
I
like, your
appreciate
videos are
that.
crisp.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's this new camera, I guess. So, yeah.
There you go, man.
There you go. Tooting my horn. All right, guys.
Cool,
Anything else you want to share with the audience?
man. I think we're good. Yeah, nothing for this week. I think we're golden. I would just say that we're living life. Business is going well. Things are chaotically awesome. Is how I would
Yeah,
describe it.
that's a great way to put it. Chaotically awesome. Yeah, we'll be
Yeah.
able to share more stuff probably in the next couple of weeks on things that have been progressing. I have gotten permission to share. So something that we haven't talked about. So it's just the depth of how much we can share, but I have gotten permission that we can share. So we'll jam out about that. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for listening in. We are on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and YouTube. And Corey's been creating some crazy thumbnails for YouTube. So go check us out on YouTube and watch us on video. Thank you so much, guys. We are the Super SaaS Bros. Yeah, you can find us, like I said, Apple Podcast, Spotify. Leave us a rating and review. And Hope you guys are enjoying this content. We'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Super SaaS Bros with Cory and Jayde. We'll see you next time.